Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, brought to you by our sponsors W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and Eldridge Air Conditioning. We are with our Sunday evening league drivers. We're with the League 4 guys, and as I've said on a few of the other videos, this is by far our most popular session, the Sunday evening leagues. There are now 5 of them, which is absolutely fantastic. Now we are with the League 4 guys, and we are at round 9, so the penultimate round. Only one round left after this. We are in Spain. We are at Catalunya. I'll go on about the track in a second, but I'm going to very quickly go down the league order as it stands at the minute. So going into this this round, so up to and including round 8, the league looks like this. Out in front, well, joint actually. Joint first is Wayne G and Harry Poppins on 248 points. Scotty Mick is in third with 223 points. Frowny in fourth on 210 points. And Bazza is in fifth on 184 points. So that's your top 5. So really tight at the top there. Only 25 points separating the top 3, and excuse me, Frowny not that far behind either. So it really is up for grabs, this title. Down at the bottom in the relegation zone, as we call it, Phaser is in 12th. He's on 80 points. Then we've got joint 13th is Hoppers and Nink 84, Ninky New. They're on 56 points. And then joint 15th is Castrian and Captain Slow on 50 points. So it looks like Phaser might have just done enough to stay up in League 4. He did join late, and he's got himself 80 points. So obviously some good points up for grabs today. So yeah, that's the league, all to play for, especially at the top. This title is wide open at the minute, with 2 rounds left, this one, and next week is the big one at the Nürburgring, the 24-hour layout. So yeah, like I say, a lot of points up for grabs. So on to this race. We've got 2 races for you today. First one is just an out-and-out sprint race as normal, and the second race is well, it's a sprint race, but there is a pit stop, mandatory pit stop, and tyre change included. But we'll talk about race 2 in race 2. So we're going to have a go down the grid. We're going to have a look down the grid. If I can get the right camera. There we go. So this is after 10 minutes of qualifying. And Wayne G, as you can see there, has got himself on pole. Frowny is in second with Harry Poppins in third. Scott is 4th. Phaser is 5th. Aussie Rooster 6th. Enzo Jack 7th on the grid. Pete is 8th. 9th is DB, Molepiece is 10th, Captain Slow 11th, and Hoppers is 12th. So we are 4 short for today. Now we've not seen Castrian for quite a while, so I'm not sure he's actually going to return. He may well have retired. So yeah, not sure what's going on there. So that's the grid layout. We've got 12 on there for the start of this race. So we'll get the guys to get on with it, shall we? And we're on actually the national layout at Catalunya in Spain. This is the shorter course. It's only 1.74 miles in length. Mixed feedback about the amount of turns. A lot of people are saying there's only 11 turns. Others are saying there's 16. I don't know where they're getting the other 5 from, but I've found 11, so we're going to stick with 11 for now. So Wayne G then takes us through this first lap. Everybody just lining up, trying to get the tyres warmed up. Everyone's going to be on the soft tyres for this first race. Quite a few spots where you can get penalties on this track as well, so I'm expected to see a few of those. Obviously there's going to be the 3 seconds if you get the pit stop wrong in race 2, but most of the other places it's only a half-second penalty. So yeah, there's plenty of places. So it doesn't take long to get around this track, and as you can see, the guys are already around turn 7 and up to turn 8, which is Europe car. We do have the chicane on this track. There are a lot of layouts where there's no chicane, but the chicane is included in this one. And that's turn 9 and 10, and then they go through turn 11, which is the final turn called New Holland, and then they're onto this very long straight across the start finish line. So we're going to go from the top and work our way down. Wayne G still out in front, Frowny is second, Harry Poppins still third, Scott is still in fourth, then we've got Enzo Jack, he's moved up a couple of places, Aussie Rooster in sixth, Baser dropped down to seventh, Pete in eighth, DB is 9th, Molepiece is 10th, Captain Slow in 11th, and Hopper's down in 12th. Everybody's still lined up though, so not spreading out too much. As Wayne G takes this very, very tight left-hander hairpin at turn 5, and then we go through, it's like a little bit of a chicaney bit, but it is flat out through there, through turn 6, then we're into turn 7, turn 8. Once you've completed that one, you are then staring at the chicane, as Wayne G just goes into that now, trying to avoid those sausage curves if you can, because they will flip the car around and unsettle it, and I think that may be what happened to Frowny there. He just got across the curve a little bit, kept it going though, kept it straight, which is good for him and good for us. And as they come to the end of this straight, normally you would carry on for another few hundred yards, but this one you have to remember to brake and turn right into this hairpin at turn 1. Then we're back on to the normal track and through Worth, which is turns 2 and 3, up towards campus, and it's this right-hander where if you drift too far to the left, you just there where Wayne's just gone through, if you drift too far there, you can pick up a penalty, and then excuse me, as he's down a very, very slight hill towards turn 5. So no real battles taking place at the minute, everybody just sort of slotting in behind everybody else. There are some good overtaking positions on this track, I mean especially the straight, the start-finish straight. If you can get in a slipstream, then that's a fantastic overtaking opportunity before you get to turn 1. But you've got to get in the slipstream. Remember, these cars are all the same car. It's the Honda NSX, the GR4. So they've all got the same power unit. They're all on the same tyres. So no real advantage to be gained from the actual car itself. So it is the guy sitting behind the wheel, pressing the pedals. It's the difference. As we just see Harry Poppins there, getting closer to Frowny. Let's jump on board with Harry Poppins as we follow Frowny through this lap. As I say, it is a very quick lap. You can see Harry Poppins actually got the fastest lap, a 1:14.9, so we'll keep an eye on that to see if that changes. Now, Wayne G and Harry Poppins sharing the points at the minute, but Frowny trying to spoil that party by getting in between them. So over this little chicane, but as I say, you can go full throttle through there, but then you do have to ease off as we go around turn 7 up towards turn 8, the Europe car, and then down into the chicane, this left, and then immediately to the right. You can take a little bit of that curve as Harry Poppins did on the exit, but it's the one on the entry you don't want to be getting involved in. Now there is quite a gap opening up now between Harry Poppins and Scott. So Scott down in 4th, he's leading this little pack of 3. We've got Scott, Enzo Jack and Aussie Rooster. Enzo Jack just pulling alongside Scott, so he's got the inside line as they go into turn 1. He's got to get hard on the brakes into this tight right-hand hairpin. Scott sticking with him though, side by side these two, so Scott retakes that 4th position. Enzo Jack trying to get the cut back but can't as they go up the hill now towards turn 4. Scott just manages to stay in front of Enzo Jack. Aussie Rooster just sitting in the background watching these two scrapping, hoping for something to happen, and he can find a gap through. So Scott leads us through the left hand hairpin of turn 5. Enzo Jack and Aussie Rooster just sitting behind. Excuse me. So as they go around turn 7, and up towards turn 8. I think Enzo Jack and Aussie Rooster will be trying to get as close as they can to Scott to get into the slipstream. Now Aussie Rooster really is going to pick up a double slip from the two guys in front of him. Whether that will actually help, I don't think he's quite close enough, to be fair. We'll just keep an eye on them. Aussie Rooster having a little look up the inside, but that's not going to do him any good if he goes down there. He needs to stick right behind Enzo Jack. But yeah, the gap just too much for Enzo Jack and Aussie Rooster at the minute. Oh, and Aussie Rooster has to brake late there. And, well, he just, I'm going to go back and have a look. He just avoided the back of Enzo Jack. I'm not sure if he missed his braking point. It's around the 300 mark. Yeah, oh, he missed that by a long way, didn't he? He missed that by a long way, did Aussie Rooster. But he's managed to maintain his 6th position, though. He's just got a little bit of catching up to do. Pete in 7th. He's got Phaser and DB chasing him, with Molepiece just sitting in the background. Let's just jump on board with DB as we try and chase Phaser. So we've just gone around turn 4, down towards now turn 5. This hard on the brakes. Short left-hand hairpin here. Taking a very wide line here now. I found that to be the better line, although I did manage to cock it up quite a few times myself last night. Molepiece all over the back of DB. Being very careful on the throttle as we come out of turn 7. Molepiece just sitting there. He's not going to do anything now, is he? We're just going to get through this chicane and then he can have a look at maybe making a move if he can get close enough. So around turn 11 they go onto the start finish straight. DB not close enough to Phaser, and I think Molepiece is just that little bit too far back as well. So DB going to hang on to 9th position. We'll just follow on through turn 1. Yeah, Molepiece just cannot get close enough to DB, and likewise DB is not close enough to Phaser at the minute. Hopper's in 11th, so he's moved up, so Captain Slow must have had a bit of an issue at some point. So Captain Slow now down in 12th. He's chasing Hoppers though, and he's going to try and get that 11th position back off of him. So that's Captain Slow and Hoppers fighting it out for 11th position. It looks like Captain Slow is getting a little bit closer to Hoppers as they go down towards turn 5. Oh, I thought Captain Slow was going to have a look then into the tight left-hander, but no, thought better of it. Through turn 6 and then up to 7 they go, and Captain Slow getting closer and closer to Hoppers, and this is really what he needs to do if he needs to get in that slipstream, which he does. Oh, as Hoppers just catches that curb, so just Captain Slow, but they're both facing the right way. As I say, you don't want to be taking too much of those sausage curbs on the entry into the chicane. Now Captain Slow right up the chuff of Hoppers as they go down the straight across the start finish line to start lap 8 of 20. Captain Slow not close enough to make a move on Hoppers as they go into turn 1. Hoppers, oh, that's definitely lag. Oh, and Hoppers is back in front again. Well, that's definitely lag. I mean, there's nothing Hoppers could do about that, but I bet Captain Slow found out what colour adrenaline is then, as Hoppers just sort of time warped in front of him, and it's still happening now. Oh, he's all over the place. I bet Captain Slow's wondering what the hell is happening. It's like the TARDIS, isn't it, of Doctor Who? 1 minute he's there, next he's not, and then he's back in front again. So we'll go back up to the pointy end then, and it looks like Wayne G has opened up quite a gap back to Frowny. So Wayne G now with a fastest lap of 1:14.6, and he has pulled quite a healthy lead away from Frowny and Harry Poppins. Harry Poppins just hanging on to the back of Frowny for these few laps. He really does need to get by Frowny though, and get onto the back of Wayne G to get the points. He needs to get whatever he can out of this, and a 3rd position is just going to allow Wayne G to just edge ahead of him. So Harry Poppins could really do with getting, as I say, in front of Frowny and trying to catch up to the back of Wayne G, but Frowny, he's not having any of that, is he? He is down in 4th at the minute, so these points will be good for Frowny G. He is, what is he, 38 points behind Harry Poppins, so he's not going to overtake Harry Poppins today, but he could do himself the world of good and maybe even get himself up into 3rd and get on the big podium for the championship. He is, 13 points behind Scotty Mick. Well, Scott is just in 4th. So it's all tight between the first 2 and then 3 and 4 as well. Scott down in 4th, having a bit of a lonely race now. You can see the guys up ahead, and I think you could probably see Enzo Jack behind him, but he's not under any real pressure. Great shot of the start finish straight there with the cars in the background. So Scott's in 4th, Enzo Jack in 5th. He's got Aussie Rooster just tucking up behind him as they go across the line to start lap 10. So we're halfway through this race. It goes very quickly, doesn't it, when the laps are only 1:15 seconds, 1 minute 15 seconds long. It as I say, it's a very short course, 1.7, just over 1.7 miles long. Aussie Rooster, I thought he was going to have a bit of a cheeky look at the inside of Enzo Jack then. I think he's really just letting him know he's still there. He's just getting himself in his mirrors. Is Aussie Rooster. We'll jump on board with Aussie Rooster as we go around turn 7. We can just about see Pete in the background. He's under no real pressure as Aussie Rooster at the minute, so he can concentrate fully on getting past Enzo Jack. He needs a great exit out of that chicane and turn 11, and he's got it. He's tucked right underneath Enzo Jack now, so let's see if the slipstream really does come into its own. You can see Aussie Rooster gaining. Is he going to make a move? He pulls to the inside as they go down the hill towards turn 1, then it's hard on the brakes side by side, but I think Aussie Rooster has just got it done. He has. There's not much Enzo Jack could do about that. The slipstream really played its part there, and Aussie Rooster now moves up into 5th. Enzo Jack just slots in behind him for this lap, for the remainder of this lap, but I think Enzo Jack is going to do exactly the same as what Aussie has just done to him. He's just going to try and bide his time, get as close as he can to Aussie Rooster, and then try and make a move before they get to the end of the straight and turn 1. Oh, I thought Aussie Rooster had gone a little bit deep there. That's allowed Enzo Jack to get a lot closer. And that's a great shot, isn't it, of Enzo Jack's NSX all over the back of Aussie Rooster. So through turn 8 they both go. Now both of them will require a good exit from this chicane, which will take them into turn 11. What we've got a little pointy thing on the screen for. So Aussie Rooster then in 5th, Enzo Jack in 6th, just behind him. Oh, sorry about the pointy thing, I don't know where that's come from all of a sudden. Back to the normal camera. So Aussie Rooster just managing to maintain P5. Enzo Jack all over him though. He's going to be looking at trying to get that back from him. Pete in 7th. He's not under a lot of oh, now that may be a penalty there. I mentioned it earlier, if you drift too far to the left. Now let's just see if Pete picks up a penalty for that one. I thought he crossed the line, but no, I think he's got away with it. So very lucky for Pete there. He did get away with it. I thought he crossed the line, but the stewards obviously didn't think it was that bad. So Phaser in 8th, DB in 9th, Molepiece down in 10th, Captain Slow 11th, and Hopper's down in 12th. So these two just seem to be chopping and changing. So these two are having a fantastic race here at the back. I've said it before, you don't need to be at the front for a great race, and these two are just proving that point. Hoppers and Captain Slow having a fantastic battle. Now I've just noticed that Bazza's not with us today as well. He's currently sitting 5th in the title race, so he's going to lose out on some valuable points as well, which will just allow Frowny and Scott to pull a little bit further away from him, as we see Captain Slow and Hoppers go across the line to start lap 13. Is Hoppers going to make a move as they approach turn 1? He's pulled to the inside. It's just, can he get that car slowed down enough? I don't think he could really. Well, I think it was more of a didn't want to have an accident there, I think, Hoppers, so he just backed out of the move. But Captain Slow and Hoppers having a fantastic race between themselves in 11th and 12th. But back up to Wayne G out in front. Well, he's just having a bit of a practice lap, isn't he? Out there on his own, no pressure, nobody in front of him, nobody behind him, absolutely loving it. So this is a track for Wayne G to really try and get ahead then of Hairy Poppins. Hairy Poppins still behind Frowny, so Frowny doing a fantastic job so far of staying in second. So these guys are obviously on the podium, but points wise I think Hairy Poppins really could have done with getting on the second step. We do have 6 laps to go, so you know there is still time. Scott sitting in 4th. He's all on his own. Aussie Rooster in 5th, just ahead of Enzo Jack still. And the gap between the two of them is it's just I think a little bit too much. So Enzo Jack is not really in the slipstream, I don't think, anyway. I think Aussie Rooster is just ahead enough to stay ahead as they enter turn 1. So across the line goes Aussie Rooster to start lap 15. Pete in 7th. Again, no real pressure on Pete. He can just concentrate on his own race. He's obviously right to catch up to the back of Enzo Jack, and I think he may just be doing that slowly. But I think, to be honest, he's going to run out of laps, and it's the same with Phaser in 8th. So let's just have a look at the times, shall we? So Wayne G, he's doing, well, it's a constant 1:14. The last lap was a 1:15.1, but every other lap has been a 1:14.7. So the consistency's there, and that's what makes these guys so good. So Wayne G way out in front, doing a 1:14. Well, he's just done his second 1:15, so he is slowing down a bit. Frowny, he is consistent 1:15s. In second, same with Hairy Poppins 1:15s. Scott, he's in the 15s as well. Aussie Rooster, he's in, well, I'd say average 16, 15, 16. Enzo Jack the same, he's in the 16s. Pete, he's well, average 16, I think. Phaser's likewise 16, so he'll be pleased with that. Then we've got DB. Bit mixed bag there, but between 16 and 17s for DB. Then the Molepiece, Captain Slow, 17s and 18s, and Hoppers regular 18s. So that's the difference. So Hoppers currently in 12th. He's lapping at 1:18.3 was his last one. Well, he's just got a 1:17, and Wayne G is doing a 1:15. So 2 to 3 seconds difference between first and last at the minute, and that's per lap, and that's why Wayne G is so far ahead of everybody else on his own. He's on lap 17, he's just approaching turn 1, the first hairpin, and then up to turn 2 and 3, which is named Worth. And this is part of the main track as well. Through turn 4, which is Campus, avoiding that little penalty there, and the other problem as well, obviously, if you go too far wide on the left there, you end up on the gravel. So Frowny and Hairy Poppins still fighting it out for second. Brownie at the minute winning this little battle, and has been actually since start of the race really. Harry Poppins just cannot get close enough to him to make a move and take that second spot away, although he does look a lot closer. This is the closest Harry Poppins has been to Frownie, I think, all race. So if he can get a good exit from the chicane and through turn 11, he may get into the slipstream and we may see a move from Harry Poppins. So we're just going to stick with these two as they go through turn 11 onto the straight and up towards the start finish line. Now, is Harry Poppins close enough? You can see Frownie pulling to the inside. He thinks he's going to have to defend this one, so he obviously feels that Harry Poppins is close enough. Back onto the racing line goes Frownie, and Harry Poppins just not close enough. I think Frownie, for a split second there, I think Frownie thought that Harry Poppins was close enough to make the move, but he has managed to hold on to second spot. Harry Poppins all over him and still trying to get a little bit closer. It's a crucial exit from turn 10, the exit of the chicane, and then on to 11, which is, as I say, if you can get that right, then it gives you a fantastic run down the straight. So Harry Poppins certainly gets close enough to Frownie as we go through the sort of second last part of this track, the last sector. So around turn 8 they both go into the chicane. Now, as I say, it's the exit of the chicane that's got to get right, which sets you up for a good run through turn 11. Now I think Harry Poppins has got it this time. He is tucked right underneath Frownie, pulls to the inside, so Harry Poppins definitely letting Frownie know where he wants to be, and quite a bit of door bashing as well. Harry Poppins is like, come on mate, give me a bit of room. Definitely a bit of door bashing there, and maybe even a bit of shouting at each other through the windows as they jostled for position there. I think Frownie wanted to try and get on the inside and block Harry Poppins, but Harry Poppins got a fantastic exit out of turn 11 and got his car in the position he wanted it, and Frownie couldn't do anything about that at all, except stick with Harry Poppins and try and do exactly the same manoeuvre on Harry Poppins as he's just had done to him. So we're just going to stick with these two just around this section. Oh, and it, side by side, Frownie is just not giving up that second podium spot, is he? As we go around turn 7 up towards turn 8, it's a little bit tighter, that turn into the chicane they go. Frownie all over the back of Harry Poppins. And then into turn 11, and this is the crucial one. And is Frownie close enough? Let's jump on board with Frownie. We are gaining, it is the final lap as well. As they go down towards turn 1, Frownie dives to the inside. He's going to have a bit of a look. He's not going to get that done, is he? So Harry Poppins managed to hold on. Oh, and he goes a little bit deep. And Frownie, well, he didn't hesitate, did he? He is on to that. Oh, but Harry Poppins fights back. Let's get out of this car and see what's happening with these two. This is going to be all the way to the end, isn't it? I really don't want to leave these guys. They are battling it. In fact, we'll follow them and then we'll go back and we'll see everybody else crossing the line. So Frownie and Harry Poppins having an awesome fight to the very end as they go around turn 5. Frownie trying to go around the long way round. He's got himself in a good position to get on the inside now as they go around turn. Oh, and it got a bit of door bashing again, but Frownie pushes his way through into second. Harry Poppins fighting him back as they go through turn 8. These two having an absolute awesome scrap. Wayne G is finished, and we're going to go back and have a look at that in a second. As they come out of the chicane, they are still almost side by side, and it is a drag race to the finish line. Harry Poppins and Frownie both side by side, and I think Frownie has just about got it. What a fantastic finish. And why is my bloody cursor doing that? So I'm going to go back a little bit now so we can follow Wayne G. So Wayne G, fantastic race from him. Led from the start and never looked back. He was just a long way in front of everybody else. Totally dominated it. So congratulations to Wayne G on the win at race 1 at Catalunya. Then we see Hoppers cross the line in 12th, and then we saw the battle between Frowny and Harry Poppins for second and third, and what a fantastic finish that was between these two guys. You can still see now they're pushing and shoving. Scott is going to come over the line in 4th, so good race from Scott, so well done to him. Aussie Rooster, he will finish in 5th, and across the line Aussie Rooster goes, so well done to Aussie Rooster. Enzo Jack just ahead of Pete in 6th, Pete gets 7th, Phaser across the line in 8th, DB will come home in 9th, then we've got Molepiece in 10th with Captain Slow coming in 11th, and Hopper's already crossed the line in 12th. So what a fantastic finish to race 1 here in Spain at Catalunya for the League 4 guys. Join me very shortly for race 2, where there will be a mandatory pit stop and a lot more points up for grabs as well. So we're just going to follow Captain Slow across the line. Now if you did enjoy this racing, then please hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, then I would really appreciate it if you could do so. And as I say, I shall catch you very shortly for race 2.